Instead of you saying, I am not good enough, say, I am grateful with where I am and with what I know now. Instead of you saying, you are tired of doing this, say, you are trying and you will continue to try. If you say you are tired, that means you are telling yourself and your mind that you want to give up. Anything you see on the outside is just a manifestation of what is inside. So if you want to change the manifestation of the outside, you cannot change the outside. You need to change what is in. If you have been having negative self-talk, change it. Replace with the positive self-talk. You're having your bachelor degree, but you think you need a master degree to do that job, to start that business. The people that run in businesses, I assure you, they do not even have certificates. That everything you consider not to be possible can be possible. Everything you consider not to work can work out. Negative self-talk. It's a constant inner critic that can bring you down. It makes you doubt yourself, doubt your abilities, second guess your decisions. It's a toxic habit that can sabotage your confidence and even affect your mental health. And today we are going to speak right about that. How does negative self-talk happen? Why does it happen? What causes it? How does it affect our daily lives? Hello there. My name is Jennifer K.O. Welcome to How True is the Truth podcast. This is a platform created with so much love to examine everything we do call true or we believe to be true. But we do speak a lot about conscious living, personal growth, and of course, based on my faith, Christian faith, or Christian values, because I said how true is the truth. So before I hear what you consider to be true, I'm going to tell you what I believe to be true. So today we're going to speak about this habit of negative self-talk. Why does it happen to us? Where does it come from? How does it impact our lives? So stay with us until the end. I know most of us have come across of this saying you are your worst enemy. Isn't that true? This also, I think, was generated from the negative self-talks because think about it, how most of time we put ourselves down by thinking we are not good enough. We are not just cut out for that or for this. And on constant basis, we continue to downgrade ourselves. And I wonder where we measure ourselves or weigh ourselves, by which standard? Like, is there any standards that someone should look themselves here and then, tell themselves who they are, how they're supposed to be? How do you know you're smart or not smart? How do you know you're good enough or not good enough? Which standards are you using? Those are all negative self-talks that most of us are holding on too much to the extent that we cannot move forward. We cannot pursue our goals. Many people, we downgrade ourselves based on our environment surrounding us, places we were born, places we are living, education and levels of education that we have. So imagine if we can only stop looking onto those outside characteristics that we think can define us, I think the better we can be, the better we can grow. But don't worry, we're going to speak about all those today. And the problem about negative self-talk is that it becomes a behavior, a habit that affects our relationships, affects our self, our inner sense of worthiness. If you check our last episode, we spoke about self-worth. My apologies, I forgot to acknowledge this. I'm creating this episode because someone asked me to speak more about negative self-talk. So here we are. I will continue to answer all the questions, but please again, could we put all the questions, opinions, anything that you may want me to speak about in the YouTube comment section? It's much easier there because if you send it somewhere else, sometimes I may not see. But again, thank you for asking. So let's speak about this. All right. So this negative self-talk becomes a behavior, a habit that we constantly do, even unconsciously, without us knowing that we are doing, thinking that you deserve only to be sitting with certain people, or you deserve only to be in this level. Like, you look yourself so low. Maybe sometimes, we compare ourselves. I've even seen this, especially for most of us people that lives in, Western countries. I've seen how it's a mentality. If you even are sitting with people, you are like, oh, because of my skin, but that is negative self-talk. You don't necessarily have to downgrade yourself because of what you have or where you are born, places places of or any condition that we may be into, because none of those defines who we are. Our skin colors, our level of education, none of those defines our worthiness. None of those. So the only way that can help us break from this negative self-talk is only if we can stop focusing on the things that are not necessarily helping us grow. Like, stop judging yourself harshly. Stop beating yourself on if you do something wrong. Stop judging yourself for the places you are living, or the conditions you are into, or the situations that are happening in your life right now. Stop looking into all those. If you had goals, you set up goals and you didn't meet them, don't beat yourself up. There's another time. That's why we always have tomorrow. If it goes wrong today, then amend it tomorrow. If you do amendment for tomorrow, that guarantees your future. If you learn from your mistakes, that means tomorrow you're going to do better. Don't focus on your weaknesses and failures. Instead, focus on your strengths, abilities and capabilities, and how you can grow, what you can do better. Learn from others. Surround yourself with the people that inspires you to become the best version of yourself. It's like we are always having those magnifying lenses in our imperfections. So quick to act ourselves on our flaws, on the process. If we just have those flaws, we so much focused on what we do wrong more than on what we do right. And you forgot that you're a human being. We do mistakes. If you're trying to do something new, how do you think you're going to do, from A to Z without doing something wrong? And if you're not doing wrong, how will you learn? Everything we see now, look, I'll just give example of the phone, the mobile phones now. Every year there is a new version. Do you want to tell me that the first version that came out, was it wrong? No, it wasn't. But now we are having the best. We continue to see the best versions. And so you're supposed to be. You are not wrong. Nothing is wrong with you. But find what is it that you need to upgrade, to improve, not to restructure. This is where problem comes. Restructuring yourself. If people look onto your face and tell you, oh, you got a bad face. Like I've seen people doing lifting up their faces and necks and dicks. Like, look, you don't have to do that. Just improve. Find a place where you can improve. You can restructure, but I can assure you, restructuring that position, that shape, that anything that you think is not okay, is not sitting right with you, is not going to change the inner problem that you have. It's not going to change your sense of worthiness, because it's inner one. If you have been listening to the podcast or watching these videos here on my YouTube channel, you will hear that I speak a lot about holistic living, conscious living, and that everything your body works from inside out. Anything you see on the outside is just a manifestation of what is inside. So if you want to change the manifestation of the outside, you cannot change the outside. You need to change what is in. That's why it's very important to know your intakes and your inputs, because it's your intake and your inputs that bring the output that you see right now. And one of the ways to change the output is changing that your talk, your self-talk. If you have been having negative self-talk, change it. Replace with the positive self-talk. Instead of you saying, I am not good enough, say, I am grateful with where I am and with what I know now. And I believe I can learn and I can grow and I can do better. Find a word that strengthens you. Instead of you saying, you are tired of doing this, say you are trying and you will continue to try. If you say you are tired, that means you're telling yourself and your mind that you want to give up. And everything you say, your mind is going to take it, because your mind, it doesn't know if it's negative or it's positive. It's going to take everything you give and it's going to work out to make sure that it brings you the results that you want. It doesn't know that you're just speaking that out of frustration. It doesn't know that you're just speaking that out of, your anger. No. So you need to be conscious. How do you act? Your emotions, track them. Track your emotions. Your behaviors, how do you behave? Act consciously. Be aware of everything that is happening inside you, because what happens inside you is what brings the outside. Trust me, let me tell you one thing. People are noticing you. They won't tell you. It's the world that we're living in. Very few of them will tell you what they are seeing in you, truly. But most of them, because they might even look at you, your attitudes, the way you behave. They're even afraid of talking to you. That's why it's very important you start being true true to yourself first. The moment you become true to yourself, other people become true to you. People wish to correct you. People wish to show you a way. But the way you position yourself, the way you behave, the way you react, the way you respond scares everybody to come to you, to correct you, to show you the way. So let's speak about different types of negative self-talk and why it's essential for us to recognize them. Because let me tell you something, you cannot change something that you do not know. First of all, it's important that we understand that different patterns of negative self-talk and how it occurs before we can have now plan or we can find a way of changing or removing those negative self-talk. So one common pattern is all or nothing thinking. So we tend to see things in black and white with no gray areas in between. We might tell ourselves, I'm a complete failure if I don't get to this promotion. I'm a total success if I land to this deal. This kind of thinking sets us up for disappointment and reinforces negative self-talk. Because if you are thinking that you're going to feel that some way when you land to that deal, that means if you want to land to that deal, your emotions now is going to be different. You think you're going to be successful if you work with this company. It's just attachment. Then you're trying to attach yourself somewhere to feel some sort of worthiness, to see yourself as of value only if you talk to these people. This type of pattern, all or nothing thinking, is what makes people now rush to people, to celebrities, to take photos for social medias, because people think that they'll be recognized as someone or successful if they hang out with different type of people, like celebrities or famous people or politicians or people with names. So people are trying to find attachment to show the world that they know someone. This is one of the pattern of negative self-talk. You do not see yourself as complete until there is something, until there is someone. You cannot be happy until there's something, until there's someone. And the second pattern is catastrophizing. This is where we exaggerate the consequences of situation, making mountains out of the molehills, where we think, if you don't get this right, my entire career will be gone. If I make a mistake, everyone will think I'm incompetent. This type of thinking is not only irrational, but also damaging to our self-confidence, because now you are working so hard to prove people that you can or you are worthy. To prove yourself who you are. That means if you're working to prove yourself who you are to the world, that means you do not accept yourself. And this is something that most of the time, we do not know. That is pattern of that negative self-talk. Like myself, I will tell you, I used to think, even to look beauty, you need to have your hair in different styles, in this. But to tell the truth, now as I continue to learn about myself and my worth and my values and trying to align myself and trying to accept myself for who I am, I don't care what I have on me. Everything I do, it just have to satisfy me first. I am happy. Honestly, your opinions really doesn't matter to me. You need to get to that stage of where you are happy with how you are, the way we are. If you see me in petty and money, that means I'm feeling like doing that. I just want to do it. It's for me. If you see me not having this on, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Neither do I need to explain myself. If you see me with my hair this is how I want to be in this moment. I am happy. That is fine. That is enough. But if you try to do things to prove yourself, or if I walk out with my hair like this, they might think I don't have money to get my hair done, or they might think my husband is not taking good care of me. If I dress this way, they might think, no, you can do everything that you think people will think you are this. And of course, you can sell us the fake picture. We can buy it. We can buy your lies. That's like what social media is doing to us this time around. Like you can shade us, we can buy your lies, but guess what? It's you again. When you go back to your room, when you're just sitting by yourself, you're still going to beat yourself up. Double regrets. Number one, you're still in that same situation. You're still stuck in that same situation. Number two, on top of that situation, you have also put yourself in debt, trying to manipulate us, showing us, trying to prove us that you are the perfect, you are living certain life. Who loses? And let me tell you the truth, you just sold us this fake look appearance today. Guess what? Tomorrow, if we see you again with the same look, we're still going to speak. we are still going to find something. So how about you give us the real you? How about you get to a point of where you are happy the way you are with what you have, your way of dressing? It's about you. Because the moment you start showing us, remember, it's a reflection. We notice. People notice on the outside. So we notice that reflection. If you really care about how we see you or you do not care, we know. The moment you start showing people that you really care about how they see them, people also are going to make sure that you need to give them the look that they want you to give them. So it's no longer about you. It's about them. This is this pattern. Catastrophizing. You want to prove yourself to people that you are this person, that you are that. Running away from who you are. The last pattern is labeling. Labeling game is so bad. It's so bad. This is where we assign negative labels to ourselves, such as a loser, a failure, not good enough. And these labels, they stick with us, influencing our self-esteem, self-perception, and dictating our behavior. We might even use the positive labels, but with a little bit twisted meaning. Like, I am perfectionist. And I used to see this, I used to say this myself, and it took me a while to understand that this is also one pattern. Even though I never used to be a perfectionist, I'm just one of those people that really, really don't care. But I used to tell other people, but I never noticed that they are trying to be perfect because they're trying to hide something. Not just trying to hide something, they are really working hard to achieve something. So if they haven't gotten to that level, they feel like they cannot do it, or they would rather not do. If they want to do it, they have to do it in that manner. But the beauty of this thing is trying, failing, and growing. It's from the failures that we grow. If you continue to label yourself, because of this education, I cannot apply for this job. Guess what? There are people that are even getting to that job without any qualification. And you're sitting right there. You're having your bachelor degree, but you think you need a master degree to do that job, to start that business. There are people that run in businesses, I assure you, they do not even have certificates. They do not have even diploma. In fact, they go to school just for fun. They already have everything they have wished to have. So change your perception. What defines you really? The most important thing that I wish you take from this video today is that your worthiness, your value does not come from the outside. It's from the inside. So if you want to change what you are not happy with on the outside, change what you put in the inside. Change your way of thinking. Renew your way of thinking. Rebuild, reframe these patterns that has been working in you. Build new patterns. Accept who you are, for there can be no one like you. So to combat these negative thought patterns, we need to develop more compassionate and realistic mindset. One effective strategy is to practice positive affirmations, replacing negative self-talk. When I'm speaking affirmations, I'm not talking about those what people wake up and go to the mirror and say, I am good enough, I am that. No, those doesn't work, especially not for me, really. But the affirmations is affirm yourself. Like you want to do this, tell yourself, okay, I'm going to create this video. And I know my English is not best. I know I do not understand, but I am going to pour out the best that I got. That is affirmation. Affirm yourself that you can do it. You don't have to wait until you know how to speak English. Like if English is your second language, in fact for me, I don't know if it's my fourth language, and then you expect yourself to speak like someone that is English is the first language. What a time waste. For how long are you going to wait? I don't think if I can change my accent to speak like someone whose English is their first language. Well, I'm not going to do that. If I want to speak this in English, I will speak in English. I will speak the best English that I can speak. If I want to speak in Swahili, I'm going to speak it in Swahili. Guess what? I had to learn Swahili. If you go back home now, if you speak Swahili, the way I speak my Swahili and the way someone else from maybe Zanzibar, Tanga, where speak Swahili is different. So, look, we can never be the same. Accept yourself for who you are. Be more compassionate about yourself and be kind. Because I believe if you are kind to yourself, you will not talk yourself down. If you love yourself enough, you will embrace yourself for who you are. Whether you are short, you are tall, it doesn't matter your skin tone, you will embrace yourself. And of course, if you know who you are, that means you will know who created you. If you know how good enough that man, if he entrusted you to be here with everything that he has given you, then you shouldn't worry about anything else and how other people sees you. It's not your problem. Your problem is, are you living your purpose? Are you living your true you? Are you doing what brought you here? So I encourage you all to reframe your thoughts. Shift your focus from imperfections to achievements. Ask yourself, what do you learn from experiences? Those experiences that you do call bad, you did not like them. What did you learn from them? What can you do so you cannot get yourself back into those experiences? How would you wish to experience? How would you wish to live this life moving forward? Never think backward. What strength did you use to overcome the past challenges? Develop a more balanced perspective and build confidence in your abilities. Remember about our last episode. We said we are given differently according to our abilities. Everyone is given something according to our abilities. So focus on expanding your abilities so that you can have more, so that you can be added. It is when you know how to manage. It is not how you know how to use what you've been given now, is when you can be added something else. Learn to be mindful. Learn to silence your inner critic. Meditate. Take some time to think about what is going on. Track those thoughts. Understand which pattern is working and how can you change that pattern. Reframe that, or the whole framework of the thought patterns, and replace with everything that you want to see. And I want you to remember, overcoming negative self-talk is a journey that takes time, patience, and practice. So be very patient about yourself. This will take time. It's not about ignoring your flaws or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It's about being kind to yourself, allowing yourself to respond more mindfully in challenging situations. Do not react. Learn to respond consciously. So, as usual, I got you some few examples from the Bible of these individuals who overcame negative self-talk and grew in self-confidence through their faith in God. As you know, I will always bring you something, because as a conscious life coach, I know that there is a creator. There is a source of everything that we are. So leaning onto that source, that is where myself I get strength. That is where I get courage, comfort, and everything that I need or that I want in my life. If I want to succeed, if I want to develop myself, if I want to grow, if I want to learn, there is a source of that. There is a source of everything that I require. And I believe so you do. So here are the examples that I just got you. So number one is Moses in the book of Exodus, chapter 3-4. When God called Moses to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses doubted his abilities. And I think many of us do, almost all the time. And he questioned God about his choices. However, with God's reassurance and guidance, Moses overcame his self-doubt and became a great leader. We all know Moses for something now. Imagine. At a time, this is the person that, he doubted he could not speak. And God was like, I am the one that created you. I can make you speak or not. So do you see that? When you doubt yourself that you cannot do this, but you forget that you are a creation of someone. You have a source. There's someone that knows everything about you. Second example is Gideon in the book of Judges, chapter 6-8. So Gideon struggled with the feelings of inadequacy and fear when God called him to deliver the Israelites from the Midianites. Despite of his doubt, but Gideon, what helped him is he trusted in God's strength and ultimately led the Israelites to victory. This speaks to me a lot. Look, that's why it's very important we know truth, because there are realities out there. The reality can be really, really assuring that you cannot get there. That is reality. But the truth is knowing who you are and where you come from. That's why on this podcast, we speak a lot about understanding who you are. It's very important. You will see something. Remember, everything we see is reality, is real, but it's not true. This is why we need to question everything we believe to be true. We see a lot of stuff, but not everything we see is true. Everything we see is real, is reality, but is not always true. And this is one. So if you understand, okay, I didn't go to school. I was born in these third countries where I don't think that I do not have enough opportunities to be so and so. That might be your reality. But do you know God's plan over your life? The truth is, only God knows you, knows your final destination. This is what Gideon did. He looked onto himself and the circumstances, saying, me, I don't think so. But you know what? Whichever way, as God wants, if God approves this, if God wants it this way, then let it be done. Then we need some time to have trust onto something else. You cannot trust on yourself. You need to know you are creator. That's why you need to have something. I call it a backup. You need to have somewhere to lean on or to lean back. You need to have the compass. You need to have someone that guides you. If you want to believe everything to work like, I need to follow a path that is just, you can see where it starts is from A to Z. Unfortunately, in this world, it doesn't work that way. Most of the things that you see are not what they are. That's why we are told in the book of 1 Corinthians or 2 Corinthians, in the book of Corinthians, that we should fix our eyes not on the things that we see, rather on the things that we do not see, because everything that we see is temporary, but what we do not see is permanent. The third example is Esther. In the book of Esther, Esther initially hesitated to approach the king and save her people because of her fear and self-doubt. However, she prayed with prayer and courage. Esther overcame her negative self-talk and saved the Jewish people from destruction. All these examples demonstrate that with faith in God and willingness to trust Him and to trust the whole process, that everything you consider not to be possible can be possible. Everything you consider not to work can work out. Everything you believe has been over can be renewed. So this is again to tell you that you are not alone. When I speak you are not alone here, I do not mean that you have your family members supporting you, have people supporting you. You are with the one that sent you here. That one that is holding your breath like this, he makes you keep going because he's not done with you yet. That's why you're still here. So you're not alone. Lean on to him. So in concluding, if we want to build confidence that is really unshakable in ourselves, we need to try and work hard to overcome self-negative talk. They do not do us any good. By recognizing the patterns as we spoke, or those patterns of self-negative talk, understanding them, become more aware of every thought that crosses your mind, develop a more compassionate mindset, be kind to yourself, and practice effective strategies to use, especially when you are in difficult situations. How you respond to people, how you adapt to different areas and environment, how you cope with the people that are with criticism. Having those strategies in place will help you to maintain your thoughts, to maintain your sense of worthiness, and to continue to build, holding your values so highly. Having those strategies in place will help you to maintain who you are. And mostly by holding your values so highly, it will also help you to act in a different way, because you will act in a way that you align yourself to your values. You will not want to betray yourself, to betray your values and your character just because other people happened to be, criticizing you, or other people are downgrading you, or other people are looking you so low, or other people are talking you down. So it's really important to understand that this life is about you. It's you against the world. And we are all looking onto you to benefit from what you have been given. Remember the gifts and talents we spoke on the last episode. So share with us what you got. Share with the world so you can be rewarded and so you can be increased. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this from YouTube, and thank you for listening. If you're listening to our different podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Good Pods, which you can actually download on Google Play and App Store. Rate our show. Tell us how we're doing. Tell us which topics you want us to speak more about. We are all about conscious living, personal growth, mindset, and yes, faith, Christian faith. Let us examine what you want us to examine. Share with us. Thank you so much. My name is Jennifer K.O. Until next time.